Have you ever been like super into a band and then 5 years later realize, hey, I forgot all about that band. So I'm going to go over the bands that I used to love that I completely forgot about. There's a lot of you that might come to this channel and go, hey dude, how's the guitar progress going? And it's coming along, but the thing is I can't play guitar every episode. You know what I mean? I just haven't learned anything since the last video I put out. So today we're going to just dive into music, just looking at bands that meant a lot to me at one time and trying to figure out why I stopped listening to them. This channel isn't just about playing guitar. It's about becoming a rock star. And a rock star needs to create music. And if I'm going to create music, I've got to have influences, right? But I do think it's funny to love a band and then completely forget about them. So here are the 11 bands. Hang on, I'm gonna go get my list. Okay, got my list. The first band on my list, Porcupine Tree. It was around 2010. I came across them. I don't even know how I came across them, but boy, did I get hooked on Porcupine Tree.
Nothing like this, felt in her kiss, cannot resist her, fell for her charms, lost in her arms, I keep a photograph, give me a glimpse, let me come in, be there inside her, here it begins, here is the sin, something to write about.
A couple days ago, I was kind of like, what do I listen to? And Apple Music suggested Porcupine Tree. I'm like, oh yeah, I like Porcupine Tree. That's one band I completely forgot about. System of a Down. This band used to get me so fired up I couldn't even see straight. I got into them in the mid to late 90s and it's like I listened to them all the time. All the time. And then poof, I probably haven't listened to them in like 20 years now.
Drug money used to rig elections that train border puppers, monster dictators around the world. They're trying to build a prison, they're trying to build a prison, they're trying to build a prison. Another prison system, another prison system, another prison system.
20 years. I think I might need to go back and listen to System of a Down. The next band on my list, Mastodon. So I came across the album Crack the Sky in the year 2009, and that album I listened to over and over and over and over again. Crack the Sky, the song itself, was one of the coolest songs I'd ever heard. I even went to their concert, and they were just a big band to listen to. And then poof, nothing. Okay, the next band on my list, Suicidal Tendencies.
I was in meditation and prayer last night. I was walking, shining bright light. Overhead, a glorious day. Gave me a message you all need to hear.
There's probably a reason I don't remember these guys because it was back in the early 90s when I was in college. And the only thing I was doing in college was partying. So that's probably why I don't remember Suicidal Tendencies. I never think to play them. Their album, The Art of Rebellion, it's like every song just got me and my friends just fired up. And it was the perfect album to put on when we were going to party. Down my stomach, here come banana. People that know Suicidal Tendencies will know what that meant. Okay, the next band is Filter. What's interesting about Filter is I've gone through two phases of diving into Filter and loving Filter. The first one was when they came out with their album Short Bus and Hey Man, Nice Shot. That was one of those pinnacle songs. It was just starts off slow, starts off cool, and then gets super intense. I love songs like that.
That's why I say, hey man, nice shot.
And then the early 2000s, I got back into Filter because they had a couple more albums that had come out that I hadn't heard before, but I really enjoyed. And yeah, they were a constant in the early aughts of a band I would just listen to almost daily. I don't know if I've listened to a Filter album in the last 10 years. The next band, a band called Truck Fighters. Obscure band I came across probably about 5 years ago. I think I was intrigued by them because what a name, Truck Fighters. Like, how do you fight a truck? Why would you want to fight a truck? I don't get it. They had a couple cool albums that I really enjoyed, and I found them to be great music to put on my headphones and then get to work. You know, I do software stuff, and it was just like, yeah. And then it's like, no more. I don't listen to them anymore, and I forget about them. See, that's the problem with getting old. It's like there's too many things to keep up on. I can't keep loving every band all the time, can I? The next band is White Zombie. Thunder Kiss 65. What was weird about White Zombie is it was one of those times where a band I liked was actually kind of mainstream for a while. You know, Thunder Kiss 65 would actually be played on the dance floor because the dance floor would like fill up when they would play the song. And it was just so weird. You know, I found throughout my life, most of the time, the music I like isn't the popular music. You know what? I should go listen to some White Zombie right now. Next band is Tuber. Tuber was introduced to me by my brother. They're like this instrumental rock band from Greece. It's great work music where you just put it on and just helps me zone in and work. It's not like they have a lot of albums, so my love for them didn't last very long. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. The album Desert Overcrowded, pretty cool. Next band I got into big time was Cake, but I haven't put Cake in for like 20 years. Trying really hard not to do a dad joke right now. I did it.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up, churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank, fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down, the fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up, and long ago somebody left with the cup, but he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance, and he's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need.
What was cool about Cake is I enjoyed it when I was cruising around town. I used to live in the Twin Cities at the time that I was into Cake. It was just like the perfect CD to have on when you were cruising around, going places, doing things. And it was also, you know, a perfect band to have playing when you had friends over because it wasn't too intrusive, it wasn't too intense, but it wasn't boring. I think I got to get back into Cake. Okay, next band, ISIS. Don't know if you guys have heard of this band before. Horrible name. I think they picked it before the radical group ISIS came along. They've stuck with the name. They're still ISIS. This is one of those bands in the early aughts I was into. One of those bands that's great for getting work done or cruising down the highway when you're by yourself. I could never put on ISIS when I'm cruising with my wife, but if it was just me, ISIS, yes. Funny, I was listening to the Discover channel on Apple Music, and ISIS came on today, and that's what made me think of putting them on my list here. Oh yeah, I used to like ISIS. The last band I got big into, and probably one of the more recent bands that I got big into, Body Count. Who knew Ice-T had a heavy metal band? Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I think my brother, Mark, suggested one of the songs to me one day, probably a few years back, and I got hooked on Body Count. It's some intense heavy metal, I gotta say. Again, it was a great album to put in when I wanted to just rock out and get work done. Do you guys have bands that you've completely forgot about and you don't even listen to them? Is there a reason you don't listen to them? You know, did you forget or you just grew out of them? These ones that I listed were just ones I completely forgot about. Maybe I have a health problem. Maybe this isn't good. Maybe I'm going senile. Huh. And why is it that some bands you super get into and you forget about them, but other bands you don't? Like, I never forget about Tool. I never forget about Alice in Chains. I never forget about, I'm forgetting. Oh, what's their name? Maybe I do forget about them. I never forget about Jane's Addiction. Led Zeppelin, I never forget about Led Zeppelin. I always go back to them. Maybe it's like if the band is popular to others, and maybe if they're more obscure, it's easier to forget about because there aren't reminders going on helping you. I do think it's weird in this day and age, you know, when we don't listen to the radio, you know, how do you get the prompts to either be reminded of music you used to love or even to learn about new music? Hopefully this video helped you think about your past, maybe. Think about stuff you hadn't thought about in a while. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you have subscribed to join my journey. I'm plugging away. I'm working on writing songs. I'm working on learning music. I'm working on getting better at the guitar. Join me in my journey. Thanks.